General Hospital Spoilers. Drew uncovers Judge's bribery, but keeps it hidden to secure his hold on Willow. In the turbulent world of General Hospital, where every relationship is tangled with secrets and every courtroom is a battlefield of influence and deception, a new revelation threatens to shake the foundation of trust in Port Charles yet again. Drew Cain, long caught between ambition and affection, may be facing a discovery so explosive that it could derail not only his plans for the future but also the fragile peace that has settled, however temporarily, over the custody of Wiley and Amelia Corinthos. It began with a courtroom victory that seemed, on the surface, like a legitimate outcome. Judge Heron, presiding over the high-stakes custody battle, handed full parental rights of Wiley and Amelia to Michael Corinthos. But whispers in darkened corners and subtle inconsistencies hinted that all was not as fair as it seemed. Behind the scenes, a transaction had occurred, one that would undermine the very notion of justice. Jens Sidwell, a man whose name had already become synonymous with manipulation and shadowy influence, had allegedly bribed Judge Heron to ensure Michael's triumph in court. With pockets lined and conscience ignored, the gavel came down in favor of Michael, altering the course of two young lives and pushing their mother, Willow Tate, to the brink of desperation. For Drew, who has been closely aligned with both Sidwell and Ezra Boyle in recent weeks, the truth emerged not with fanfare, but as a toxic secret uncovered by accident. Whether overheard in a careless conversation or slipped out during one of Ezra's more careless moments, the information reached Drew, and what he did next would speak volumes about the man he has become. Rather than march into the courthouse and demand justice, Drew hesitated. Not out of confusion or disbelief, but because the timing was too inconvenient. Willow, reeling from the loss of her children and vulnerable in her grief, had finally agreed to marry him, a union she saw as her only hope to restore her role as a mother. If Drew exposed the bribery now, it would risk undoing everything. The courts would almost certainly reopen the case. A new, impartial judge might see through the manipulation and grant custody back to Willow. Michael's standing would be eviscerated, but so too would Drew's plan, a plan that hinged on Willow's emotional dependence and trust in him. And so, as the truth burned in his hands, Drew chose to smother it. The same man who once fought for justice with relentless fervor now found himself complicit in a lie that hurt the woman he claimed to love. It was a decision born not of ignorance but of cold, calculated intent. To Drew, the end justified the means. If keeping silent a little longer meant Willow would follow through with the wedding, if it meant securing a future where he could continue to control the narrative and shape her perception, then the silence was a price he was willing to pay. But silence has a way of echoing, and secrets buried tend to rise when least expected. As the wedding day approaches, Drew maintains his composure, spinning the illusion of love and stability while hiding a truth that would shatter everything. He plays the part of the devoted partner, promising safety, family, and a future, all while denying Willow the opportunity to reclaim her own children through honest means. Even more unsettling is Drew's potential next move: to stage a moment of false outrage after the wedding, pretending to discover Judge Heron's corruption and feigning righteous indignation, all while ensuring the damage is already irreversible. The question looming now is not whether the truth will come out, it always does in Port Charles, but what the fallout will look like when it does. Willow, already emotionally gutted by the loss of custody and her rushed commitment to a man she no longer fully understands, may find herself betrayed in the most personal and devastating way. To discover that the man she married stood between her and her children, all to secure her love, would not just be heartbreaking, it would be unforgivable. And yet, in the world of General Hospital, forgiveness is rarely clean, and redemption is never free. Drew's downfall, if it comes, will not be sudden but slow and unraveling, as Willow pieces together the truth and reclaims her voice. The once heroic figure who returned from captivity a changed man may now find that his own worst prison is the one of his own making, forged not with iron bars but with deceit, manipulation, and betrayal. As the tension builds and Drew tightens his emotional grip on Willow, viewers can expect the storm to reach a fever pitch. In a town where alliances shift with the wind and loyalties are bought with secrets, the lines between hero and villain are always blurred. But when the dust settles, Drew may find himself alone, not just legally exposed, but morally condemned, not only by the courts but by the woman whose life he tried to reshape through silence and control. Stay tuned, because in General Hospital, no truth stays hidden forever, and no betrayal goes unpunished. The only question is, when the reckoning comes, who will be left standing?